It might take you a lot longer to shop at the next Amazon Prime Day if the FCC rolls back Obama-era internet rules. More than 80,000 websites, including Amazon, are participating in the biggest ever online protest against the regulator's plan to end net neutrality. Current FCC Chair Ajit Pai wants to remove restrictions on internet service that providers that prevent them from speeding up or slowing down data have. The founder and former CEO of Sun Microsystems and executive chair of Weigh In, Scott McNealy, with us to weigh in. Scott, which side of this debate are you on? I know, but explain why you feel that you got to let this be a free market internet, not a free internet.
Well, it's a sort of the anecdotal evidence I've seen since I'm original in technology.
Right.
How old am I? But I'm a capitalist. I believe in the free market. I believe in the invisible hand, and I've yet to see anywhere where price controls or government intervention and monitoring of a big market like this leads to the kind of innovation and consumer access. We don't have a monopoly. If we had a monopoly like Ma Bell and Judge Green needs to come in and break it up, that makes sense. But you can get broadband from satellite, from wireless, from cable, from wireline, from point-to-point, line of sight. There are so many ways to go deliver it. We need competition. And my analogy is, you know, we've got a lot of examples of fixing the price of gasoline and fixing the price of drugs is a classic example. And every time we put a ceiling on the price of a drug, that means less R&D money is going into the drug companies, which means fewer drugs, and quality of life and innovation is going to suffer. So it's pretty, I mean, it seems self-evident to me, but if I was a big company that didn't have a network and relied on the network, sure, I'd like some free stuff. Everybody loves free stuff.
Well,
we know that.
That is the thing. People, consumers, let's put it this way, consumers love to pay less and get more. Fine, but here's also that point about R&D, that it might really put a cap on it if you keep net neutrality in place, and that is that the companies that spent all the money to build out the internet over the years, whether it's AT&T or Verizon, Comcast, you can name all of them, they'll just stop putting money into it.
That's exactly right. And when we had basically the AT&T monopoly, the investment was very low and slow and not very innovative. They broke it up, and all of a sudden there was an enormous explosion in investment, innovation, access, all the rest of it. And the more, I don't know, I'm a small government person, and I think the private sector will do a far better job of regulating who needs the access and who will pay for the access than the government.
Let me speak for our small business owners in the audience. The argument for the opposite side, the people who say keep it, low cost and same for everybody, are the small businesses who are worried, certainly the startups, that they say they won't be able to get their content across because they'll have to pay more for streaming versus another company. What do you say to that argument?
Well, you know what? You have to pay more for performance in any other environment. A super fast car is more expensive than a super slow one. I mean, this is not new. This is not new information. Right. And again, I get back to: do we have competition? Do we have? I mean, look at all of the new entrants into the Fortune 500, if you will, over the last 10 years, and ask if they've been held back because somebody is getting a return on the capital that they've invested on the network. No. And I just think this is there's a lot of political dollars being spent on this, and that just makes me nervous. The government should be out of this business, less regulation, let the invisible hand come. And if something gets too big to fail, like a bank, break it up. Don't protect it with Dodd-Frank or with some net neutrality thing or anything else like that. Just break up whatever is too big to fail. I actually wrote a thesis on antitrust, and I read the Sherman Antitrust Act. Monopoly is the word. We don't have a monopoly in this environment right now. We ought to let the free market continue to do its thing. Yeah.
Well, listen, if you go in a cafeteria and you order 12 different things, you should pay more. If you're just getting what I get, which is a Hershey bar, I want to pay less. Scott, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Scott is the co-founder and executive chairman of Weigh In and the founder of Sun Microsystems.